Okay. Hello, Miss Monica.
Hi, good evening, everyone.
Yeah. Good evening, good morning. Now you please start your presentation.
Wonderful. Just a second, please. Thank you. So today I am here with one of our students, and we will actually start with the presentation, and then Isan is here to answer any questions and to also give us a little more information. And Pioneer Academy is located in Wayne, New Jersey. We're about 35 minutes away from New York City's metropolitan area. Literally 5 minutes away from here, there is a bus that the students can take, and within half an hour, they're in the heart of New York City. We're also located next to golf courses, President George Washington's headquarters, and also world corporate headquarters for Cartier, Gucci, and YSL. So the location is definitely great. We are a pre-K through 12th grade school, and we are a very small selective private school. So as you can see here, we have 135 students in high school, 79 students in middle school. The youngest student that we had this year, who was an international student, was a student from Korea. She came for 3 months, and she was actually in a 3rd grade, so very early. Otherwise, usually students who come in on I-20s come in starting in 7th grade or so. San came in 3 years ago, and he had a great experience, so I cannot wait for him to share that experience with you. We do have 100% college acceptance rate. In the past, I used to be an elected official on citywide council on high schools, and I supported over 90 principals in Manhattan with $15 billion plan. But schools in New York City sometimes really struggle with graduation rate or acceptance rate. At Pioneer Academy, we are very proud that we're very result driven. We are rated as top private school in Passaic County by NISH. We also have the highest SAT scores in Passaic County, and we're fully accredited, which is very important. And these are some of the photos from the classrooms that were taken before the pandemic. And we are student-centered. To us, safety is something that is the most important aspect of coming to Pioneer Academy. We want to make sure that all of the parents really feel at ease, and that they are happy with students performing well academically, but also that they don't have to worry. Considering the pandemic, a lot of our students who are international students actually stayed with us that year until the very end, and then they continued on. But to us, we wanted to have them on campus if possible, but making sure that we have the highest level of safety. So it was a really good experience to us to make sure that we have the top safety for all of our students, including the temperature checks, health screenings, to make sure that there are no issues with COVID. Of course, in the past, we also had the mandatory masks for all of the students. Right now, we just lifted that mandate, so we feel a little bit better, but we still want to make sure that we are very vigilant. And usually the feedback from the parents is that they feel much better and more relaxed when the kids are with us, because it's definitely a great environment. And I do have 2 short videos that I would like to share with you. One is a middle school video, and one is high school video. If you could give me just 1 second, please.
So I've got my essay written, and I've been working on it for about a week. So now I'm going to show you how I use Grammarly to edit.
What stands out to me about Pioneer Academy is the connection that the teachers make with their students. Teachers are excellent. They take pride in what they do.
In middle school language arts, I design my lessons to be very flexible. And how I effectively do that is through implementing the workshop model. Now, my students love this because I feel that it breeds creativity. They like that I'm not really hovering around them and watching what they're doing and listening to everything. And it gives them time to meet with one another, talk a little bit, but also get their work done.
We implement a very rigorous set of curricula, and it shows on our standardized tests. In a typical year, our students will show anywhere between 150 to 200% projected growth, meaning our students are learning close to 2 times as much student than a typical school.
And our students actually are very high achieving students, and thank you for your patience as the presentation is reloading. For the middle school, our students, some of them are actually in the even in the top 1% in the United States. So you can see the growth here and the percentiles. So to us, we do everything that is possible in order to have differentiated instruction. So students feel very confident and that they do achieve. And I do have one last video that I would like to share with you as well, which is our high school video.
It's a challenging environment, but at the same time, very comforting and nurturing. It's very like a family-oriented, a lot of attention to the kids given when they really are thriving here.
I run the Student Government Association. Pioneer, we have a lot of different activities that are allowing our students to learn how to be productive and effective members of their community. They travel across seas to other countries to make sure that they are helping those in need with the skills and the resources that they have.
I'm currently going to Barnard College of Columbia University. Looking back on my experience in public school and comparing it to my experience at Pioneer, I realized that if I hadn't switched over to the school, I probably wouldn't have gotten accepted into the schools. I think the best thing that makes Pioneer Academy stand out is that you always have someone, whether a teacher or a counselor, that is there to support you, motivate you, and inspire you throughout the application process.
And of course, to us, the college acceptances, we are, this is one of the most important aspects of Pioneer Academy, considering the college prep school that we are. And San, can you tell us a little bit more about, we know that in the past we had Harvard, UPenn, Brown, Princeton, and San is actually also in the robotics team. So I think that he can tell us all about the college acceptances. How did it go this year? And you can speak in Vietnamese, that's perfectly fine.
So, năm nay, robotics của trường được nhận một khoản tài trợ từ NASA, và năm nay đội robotics của trường đã đăng ký tham gia vào một giải đấu lớn hơn, và trong cái buổi competition, trong cái buổi thi đấu thì đội đã được nhận một trong những giải tân binh hạng nhất, và cũng đồng thời được vào kết quả vòng cuối cùng của buổi competition hôm đấy, buổi thi đấu hôm đấy. Thì những kiểu kết quả này hoặc là thi đấu thì nhiều dần thì nó sẽ giúp cho profile của các bạn học sinh mạnh hơn khi làm college application. Thì thực ra năm nay cũng có rất nhiều acceptance tốt, như là con đã được nhận vào University of Toronto, trường đại học hàng đầu của Canada, và năm nay có nhiều học sinh được nhận vào trường Rice University, UC Berkeley, hoặc là Amherst College, trường top đầu trong những trường nghệ thuật khai phóng, và UC Berkeley và Rice là một trong những trường top đầu của Mỹ. Thì những kiểu hoạt động như này sẽ giúp cho học sinh rất nhiều khi apply vào các trường đại học lớn, vì các trường đại học sẽ luôn tìm kiếm những người có nhiều thành tích tốt hoặc là điểm số cao kiểu đấy.
And San is wonderful and he's very humble, but I mean, he's our superstar and it's just his energy is phenomenal, and he's just such a wonderful role model for other students. And University of Toronto, I mean, we're just so happy for him because it used to be ranked as number 5, right? Number 4 or number 5 in the world. And right now it's number 16. So definitely a top school in the world. So we were so excited for last year, the captain of the robotics team who got accepted to Princeton, and this year San actually came up with, I think, even a better result. So, and we're also very close to his mom. It's just, we're so thrilled for his whole family. And of course, in terms of the college guidance and the communication, we want to make sure that it's a process that everyone is involved in. And we always like to make a lot of positive contacts also with the families. It's not only if our students are really usually very cheerful. So when we see a student doing something good, we would communicate with the family, or San's mom would send me videos of him playing piano. So it's a relationship. We want the parents to feel like they are right here with us going through the whole process. So we usually use WhatsApp to communicate with the families in Vietnam. And of course, very rigorous curriculum, but also it's followed by excellent college guidance, and it's all about perfection. We know that with college application process, it's not an easy process, but we do have 3 college guidance counselors for 135 students who really live and breathe to make these dreams come true. So I think that was a big part of our students' success. Of course, they do work hard for it as well. And you can see just a general overview of the results from last year. For instance, the 2021, we had 44 students who graduated. They received almost $5 million in scholarships. 80% of our students were accepted to top 100 universities. And as you can see, excellent college acceptances, including Princeton. Of course, also in the past, we had Harvard, Princeton, Columbia University, real excellent acceptances. This year, we actually have Johns Hopkins, which also one of the students from the robotics team got accepted to. So that was our first acceptance. So of course, this is a dream school for many of our families in terms of the biomedical engineering. They're #1 in the United States. And in terms of the dorm, we offer a homestay option for both boys and girls, but the dormitory serves students starting in 8th grade up to 12th grade, and boys stay on premises. And they have a lot of constructive leisure time as well. We want to make it fun. And I think that one of the really important aspects of Pioneer Academy is that kids are really good friends with one another. So they always joke with one another, and they really love the environment here. So to us, we feel like family. State-of-the-art facilities, you can see in the past, we actually had a student, for instance, in the past who was an international student who was a fashion designer, and he made over $200,000 in his own fashion line. We use, of course, the theater. Students can go to Broadway and then reenacted here at Pioneer Academy. And we started programming starting from a very early age of kindergarten. So, and you can see that we are very close to New York City, but at the same time, we do have quite a lot of land where the students, as soon as they're done with lunch, they can also eat lunch outside. They can play sports, and they can have fun. They can participate in fun activities. Some of our parents are sons or daughters of diplomats who work at the United Nations. So to us, clubs like Model United Nations is important. And we're just trying to have a lot of different clubs and activities. San actually is a great chess player. And so he started the chess club. And that was something that was a lot of fun for our middle school students and also high school students. We want to empower the students to definitely enrich their portfolio. And when it comes to college applications, that definitely helps. You can see here in the photos also, for instance, the young lady here met with a US astronaut, or we went to Africa right before the pandemic. We went to Tanzania in February of 2020. 4 of our international students actually traveled with us, and the students fundraised to build a water well that delivered water to over 2,000 students. And also, they visited an orphanage, they renovated the library, and we also went to the American Embassy in order for them to learn about the pathway of being diplomats. You can also see in the photo in the middle, we've met with the UN Secretary General, who holds, of course, the highest office at the United Nations. And we were also humbled by a visit from the great-grandson of Mahatma Gandhi. And you can see him here in the photo with the little ones, but of course he met with our middle school and high school students. And a lot of different fun activities, as I've mentioned. So going to the conferences at the United Nations, or having STEAM days where the kids can really improve their public speaking as well, which is very important. Very strong curriculum that is also for our students who come in and their English level is not quite fluent. It is perfectly fine, because the person who is leading the ESL program used to teach in Japan and Korea for more than 15 years. And then he came to Pioneer Academy about 5 years ago, and he is helping our students to transition. And it's so even we do accept students with very basic English level skills, and then they improve. So we have a young lady who is an international student who came in also with no English skills whatsoever in 7th grade, and all of a sudden we're able to communicate and we speak to one another. So it's definitely something that is a wonderful experience for the students. And in terms of the college guidance, I think, San, if you can tell us, I know that you mentioned it, but if you can tell us how was your college application process?
Okay, so trong đợt apply vào trường đại học thì trường đã giúp rất nhiều, như kiểu thì năm nay trường đã bắt đầu giúp từ năm lớp 11, và mỗi tuần thì sẽ có mỗi ngày người hướng dẫn college counselor sẽ gọi kiểu một bạn lên để kiểu tư vấn, và một buổi meeting sẽ khoảng kiểu vài tiếng, thì trường sẽ tư vấn về gần như tất cả các thành phần của college, của cái application khi nộp đại học. Như kiểu trường sẽ tư vấn về, quan trọng nhất là cái personal essay, cái bài luận riêng của mình. Xong rồi trường sẽ hỗ trợ tư vấn các hoạt động ngoại khóa, activity, và sẽ giúp lập plan for summer, sẽ giúp lập một cái kế hoạch để để khi vào hè thì các học sinh lớp 11 sẽ chuẩn bị sẵn cho lúc nộp đại học vào năm sau. Và trường sẽ rất là các người hướng dẫn rất là thân thiện khi mà giúp mình, như mình có câu hỏi thì mình chỉ cần qua office là thường sẽ trả lời ngay. Và lúc lên lớp 12 thì chắc chắn sẽ được nhiều giúp đỡ hơn, tại vì ngoại trừ bài luận chính mà thường sẽ phải nộp gần như cho tất cả các trường, thì mỗi trường sẽ có các bài luận riêng của trường. Thì cái này là một cái rất quan trọng khi nộp đại học, và chắc chắn là khi đến Pioneer Academy thì mọi người học sinh sẽ được giúp đỡ rất nhiều, và trong gần như tất cả mảng của cái lúc apply vào đại học. Yeah.
Thank you so much, San. And we would love to welcome any questions that anyone would have, so we can. So thank you so much for listening to us, and we hope that this feedback is helpful to the families to make a decision. And we would love to welcome you to Pioneer Academy, and hopefully reconnect and set up the follow-up interviews in the future.
Thank you, Monica, for the presentation with video. It's so wonderful. Bây giờ đến phần hỏi và đáp ạ. Trường Pioneer Academy thì có một học sinh Việt Nam, cho nên là các anh chị và các em học sinh hoàn toàn có thể hỏi tiếng Việt, hỏi trực tiếp, hoặc là mình có thể hỏi tiếng Anh với các thầy cô từ hai trường. Thời gian dành cho phần hỏi đáp là 30 phút. Chúng ta có thể bắt đầu, hoặc là chúng ta có thể đặt câu hỏi ở phần chat ạ. Thế nào cũng được ạ. Rất là linh hoạt. Và bởi vì là có Sơn học sinh đang học ở bên trường, nên các anh chị hỏi thật nhiều vào.
Không có câu hỏi gì câu hỏi ạ. Nhất là về các hệ thống bên này, hoặc là trường nói chung, nói riêng, hoặc là hệ thống nói chung.
And one thing I think that we may add also, can you tell us about your SAT journey?
Thì cái SAT của trường thì SAT chủ yếu tự học thôi, tại vì nói thật thì SAT là kiểu một cái test giống kiểu IELTS ấy. Học thì cũng ok nhưng mà tự học mới là cái chính. Thì SAT lúc đầu con thi cũng được kiểu điểm toán thì cũng ok, tại vì con trong câu lạc bộ toán học, nhưng mà tiếng Anh thì lúc đầu rất là thấp, nhưng mà lúc sau thi lên thì sẽ cao hơn ạ. Còn thì lúc sau con thi thì cũng được kiểu 1.400, 1.500, nhưng mà lúc con có mấy đứa giỏi hơn nó thi được 1.560, khá cao nhất trong kiểu một lần ấy. Và con thi IELTS, con cũng thi IELTS, tại vì bên này thì tùy trường, nếu mà học sinh quốc tế thì thường nó bắt thi IELTS, thì con thi IELTS cũng được 7.5, cũng tốt.
Thank you, Sun.
So maybe I have a question. What is different about ACT and SAT? Maybe parents will like confuse between the two tests.
Of course, so it really depends. Most of our students actually take SAT, and when it comes to the preparation, it's actually embedded into the curriculum. So we find it the easiest way to boost our student scores. So Sam got 800 in SAT math, and he kept on trying to get higher score in English, and we know that it's not easy because it's difficult for native speakers. With ACT, not a lot of students at this time take ACT, but it also has other components besides English and math. But it's definitely a choice between the two. It depends on the students, which one do they prefer. But I don't think that we had, I don't know if any of our students took ACT this year.
The ACT tests have like more science components compared to SAT, which majority have only math and English. Yeah.
Great questions. Thank you.
Thank you. Thông thường thì cái bài thi